name is Dr. Jennie McAdam. I'm the Director for Rehabilitation and Reintegration at the Compensation Fund. I'd like to talk to you today a little bit about what rehabilitation services are offered by the Compensation Fund. So a very exciting development that has happened recently is that the COIDA, which is the act that governs the functions of the Compensation Act, has included a new chapter specifically about rehabilitation. And because of this, we can see that rehabilitation services are a strategic priority for the Compensation Fund. And what's very, very exciting is that in line with these new developments, the Compensation Fund has now employed an entire multidisciplinary team in order to be able to manage and offer rehabilitation services around the country to individuals or employees who were injured or became ill in the course of their work. At the moment, the Rehabilitation Directorate at the Compensation Fund includes a team of a physiotherapist, a social worker, a number of occupational therapists, as well as nursing colleagues. So we have a multidisciplinary team ready to manage and oversee the rehabilitation service offering to injured and diseased employees around South Africa. So, with the priority of the Compensation Fund being rehabilitation of injured or diseased employees in order to be able to return them to work, there are a number of offerings that the fund specifically makes. Firstly, clinical rehabilitation, and this is the rehabilitation services that are offered to these injured employees in the early stages after they have become injured. So these injured employees are admitted into rehabilitation facilities and are offered comprehensive rehabilitation services in order that they can reach an optimal level of functional independence in all areas of their lives. Once these individuals have gone through the clinical rehabilitation process and are ready to be discharged home, this is when the social rehabilitation program kicks in. What we mean at the Compensation Fund by social rehabilitation can be seen as having two parts. Firstly, some of our injured employees have injuries or diseases of such a nature that they may not be able to return to work in the capacity that they were employed before they became injured or ill. In this case, the Compensation Fund ensures through case management that these injured employees are able to be discharged safely to their homes, or if for some reason they're not able to be cared for in their own homes, provision is made for admission of these individuals into an appropriate frail care facility. In the case of an injured employee being cared for at home by their families, the Compensation Fund also can offer what's called a care attendant allowance, which is then a monetary allowance that's made available to pay for the injured employee to have a carer to assist them with their daily activities. As I said, there was also another component of social rehabilitation, and this is extremely important in the sense that it focuses on returning these injured individuals back to the workplace. The Compensation Fund aims to move towards offering what we call clinical vocational rehabilitation, and through this type of program, these injured employees are assessed to see what are their work capabilities now since they've had an injury, and then to be able to rehabilitate them in their work abilities so that they can become productive members of society in an economic sense. As we celebrate Disability Month in 2020, let us not forget the essential role that the rehabilitation services of the Compensation Fund play in terms of enabling persons with disabilities to exercise their right to participate in all aspects of life. And rest assured that the Rehabilitation Directorate at the Compensation Fund is fully committed to the provision of excellent rehabilitation services and the removal of barriers for persons with disabilities. So in closing, if there are any inquiries regarding rehabilitation services of the Compensation Fund, please feel free to contact us on 012-319-9310. Thank you very much.